Hi positive readers, it's Positive right here today with another video. And today I'm going to be doing my October and November wrap up, aka the longest wrap up you have ever seen in your life. So basically, I had not made a wrap up in a month or 2 months now, because it was October the last time I made it. No, the last time I read a wrap up was in September. So it's been 2 months since my last wrap up, because in October I read like 4 books. I was a failure. It didn't feel good. I didn't want to come on here and be like, I read 4 books, bye, you know. And I also didn't like really start any TV shows or anything, so it was just kind of like, yikes. So I was like, I'm just not gonna do it. We're just not gonna put it on here, and that's just gonna be that. But then November happened, and I decided to pull it together, and I read so many books. I don't even know how many books I read, honestly. So I'm going to talk to you about the books that I read in October and then November, and then I'll count them all for you today. It's a lot, you guys. It's a lot. So just like buckle down and get ready. I'm very proud of myself. I only have 12 more books to read to finish my Goodreads goal, and in my end of the year book tag I said I had like 30. So just think about that and think about how many books I read since then. So anyway, let's get started. In October, the first book that I read was Not That I Could Tell by Jessica Strasser. It was pretty good. I mean, since this is going to be really long, I'm not going to talk that much about these books unless I really liked it. So it was like okay. It was okay. I don't remember it being like, you know, top tier or anything. It was good. That's all I can say. It was good. And then the next challenge was to read a book about something that you're afraid of. This was for the night marathon, which was for the last like 7 days of October. And I read A Monster Calls by this because the thing I was afraid of was like losing my mom. And that was a really good book. That was really good. 5 stars for sure. I love that book. It was absolutely amazing. And I want to watch the movie, and I'm obsessed. It was a really, really good book. I read it like a night. It was very nice. I cried a lot. Next book that I read was Read a Paranormal Book, and that was The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson, which is a Netflix series that I still have yet to watch. And it was pretty good. I mean, it was okay. When I say pretty good now, I think that it's just like my staple word. But that was okay. It was like pretty boring. It was short but boring, so it was hard for me to get through it. But I got through it, and it was just like subpar as fuck. So the next one was read a book. This was actually the last one. Was Read a Recommendation by Us, which is the host of the Night Marathon. And I read Keep You Close by Karen Cleveland, which ended up really disappointing me. It was on my TBR actually. And it sounded so good, and I read it, and it was just like, what is going on? It was so much confusion. I don't even know what I rated it, but it just was not good. It really disappointed me. So now we're getting along to the good stuff. November, I read so many books, and we're gonna count them after I get done with talking about all of them. But yeah, let's get it. The first book that I read was Birthday by Meredith Russo, and I loved this book. It was so beautiful and so nice to read, and it made me like cry and smile and laugh, and it was super wholesome. Trans read. It was amazing. I love it. Definitely recommend you picking it up. Next book that I read was The Rumor by Leslie Cara, and it was like okay. It was one of those thrillers that was like good, but it just didn't end up like the payoff didn't end up being that good, so it was like okay. Next book I read was Legacy of Kings by Eleanor Herman, and this book was like okay. Like it was like really kind of bad. It was like a YA fantasy from like 2015. The only reason why I read it is because I put it on my beginning of the year TBR that I like have to read. Like these books are going to expand my reading horizons or whatever. And it ended up just being some same generic YA bullshit. So I mean, it was not worth it. The next book that I read was Accidental Heroes by Danielle Steele. I loved this book. It was amazing. Something I would have never picked up otherwise. But I did for like a class, and it was amazing. I love this book. It was great. It's like, since I didn't tell you what the other one's about, I'm not going to be fake and tell you what this one's about. But I did really enjoy it. Definitely think you should pick it up. It's not that long either. It's like 200-something pages. I recommend it for sure. It was really wholesome, and the suspense was amazing. It was like a thriller also. It was amazing. Just read it. Next book that I read was Inferno by Dan Brown. This book was like 600 plus pages, and y'all, I started ripping through it when I first started it, but then as I got closer to the end, I just found myself not wanting to read it anymore. And then the very end was really good, but like that portion in the middle of the book, like I don't know, it was just really boring. I found that I do not care about the world that Dan Brown has built. Like, I guess it's interesting. It's like a mystery, but not like a thriller mystery. It's like a mystery where you have to find clues and stuff. And I don't know, I guess not even grown out of that, because I'll still read 39 clues in 5 seconds and love it. But I just feel like the whole European history thing, I just don't get it. I don't know. It's just something that I don't really care about. So that's kind of messed up the experience for me, but it was definitely a solid book. I enjoyed it. It was not dense at all like I thought it was going to be. So props for that. Next book I read was Relentless by Dean Koontz, and I think this book is amazing. I started it a while ago and then I finished it in November, and I really liked it. I love this book. It was really interesting. I'm not gonna tell you what it's about again, but I really had a fun time reading it. It's like random. I saw it at my school library and I was like, you know what? It's a thriller. I'm gonna read it. It had a nice premise. I'm like, let's pick it up, and it ended up being really good. I loved it. It was really good. The suspense was amazing. I was afraid for the characters. I loved the characters and cared about them and didn't want anything to happen to them. So that's good writing ship. Next one was The Queen of Nothing by Holly Black, which was amazing. It was a great last installment to the Cruel Prince trilogy, and I really enjoyed myself. It was great. 5-star for sure. It was like one of the best finales ever. It wrapped up the series perfectly, so we love that. Next book that I read was When the Moon Was Ours by Anna Marie McLemore. I really liked this book. It was super cute. Something that I never think that I would pick up, but it was amazing. It was whimsical. It was beautiful. It was wholesome. It touched me. It was very nice. I loved it so much. Transfer up again. So definitely pick it up. I highly recommend that one. The next book that I read was Kingdom of Souls by Rena Barron. This book really disappointed me, which is like really shitty. Like I wanted to love it so badly. I was so excited for this, and then it kind of just let me down, and yikes. The first half was like kind of good, and I was gonna make a book chat and everything. Then the last half really fell flat for me. I don't know. I just stopped caring about the characters and stuff. I don't know. Maybe it's me, but I don't know. It just really was not what I thought it was gonna be, and it ended up being. I'm sorry, I did not mean to do that. Kind of disappointing. Next book that I read was Hideaway by Nicole Lundgren, and this book was okay. I took like a whole month, like multiple months to read this book, and then I finally finished it. And I mean, I stopped reading it for a reason, and I began reading it again, and I finished it because I wanted to finish the book. But it wasn't really that good. It was like a thriller, and it was like okay. It was not. I thought it was gonna be much better, but it ended up just kind of being okay. You know, and that's just how it is sometimes. Sleep by C.L. Taylor was my next read, and it was again one of those okay thrillers. Like it was better than Hideaway, I think. I did like the suspense, how they built the suspense was really good, and the ending was really good. But it was kind of just okay. It didn't leave a lasting mark on me or anything. Next book I read was Those People by Louise Candlish, and this book absolutely snapped. I love this thriller. It was so funny and so suspenseful, and I loved it. I loved like every second of it. It was like amazing. I just really had a fun time, and I love Louise Candlish. I can't wait to pick up her other book, Our House. I really enjoy her writing, and I think that she's an amazing author, and this book really snapped, and I was just like on the edge of my seat the whole time, and while also laughing, so it was amazing. The next book that I read was The Stranger in the House by one of my favorite authors now, Cherie Lapina. I love her books. Her writing is amazing. Her thrillers are amazing. I love the way that she writes, and I love it. And it was a really good book. I enjoyed it. Her other books were better, but it's fine. Like, I did enjoy this one, and I'm glad that I read it. I'm off to read her last book that I have not read yet, and it's like The Couple Next Door, I think, so definitely can't wait for that. Next book that I read was Fierce Kingdom by Jen Phillips, and this book was pretty good. It was cute, but while also being completely terrorizing and horrifying, so that was really good. Suspense was amazing while also making me ooh, so that's a really good combination. I think that the author definitely snapped on that point, and it was for the storyline that it was given that I kind of at first was shying away from. It really ended up being good, so I think that was definitely a win. Pretty sure I rated it 5 stars because it deserves it. Next book that I read was Lullaby, or The Perfect Nanny, which was actually the last book that I read, by Leila Slimani, and it was okay. It was like one of those thrillers that I don't really care. I felt very detached from the story. I don't really care about it, and I would say it's because I read it in like a couple hours, but still, I read a lot of these books in a couple hours, and this one was the only one that I was just kind of like detached from it. It wasn't a good experience. I did not enjoy myself really, so you know, it was just okay. It wasn't bad really, but it was just okay. Those were all the books that I read in November. I think I'm gonna count now. 15 books in 1 month is a lot for me. A lot. The most that I've read in a month is 10 books, which I guess it's not that much more, but still, that's a lot. And it was like reading a book a day. Like a lot of this was in one like week, and you know, that's just it. I don't. So I'm very, very proud of myself. I'm going to get this freaking Goodreads goal. I've already read like 3 books in December. I'm ready, you guys. I'm not playing around. So yeah. Now we're off to movies. TV shows, I did not really start only like The End of the World Season 2, which was pretty good. But I just have not started another TV show, so no TV shows on this list. But movies, first movie that I really enjoyed this month was American Son. I love this movie. It was amazing. Made me cry, but it was amazing. It's very cinematic, and It's all shot in like one room and has like 5 characters, but I loved it. I love film. I'm very passionate about film. I want to go into film when I grow up, so watching things just for the film aspects of it that has a great story, great acting, all that stuff, it doesn't have like a lot of special effects, it's really special to me because it just shows the craftsmanship of creating a story and making it a film and then just like wowing everybody. So I really enjoyed myself. Definitely think you should watch it. It's about the son who goes missing. His mom is like super worried, and she's like at this police station calling him constantly, trying to figure out where he's at. It's really good. Definitely recommend it. The next movie that I watched that I really loved was Joker. Finally watched Joker. It was absolutely phenomenal. I loved this movie. It was everything that I wanted, really, and even though it was like some stuff that I really didn't expect or thought that it was not gonna, like, it was like different stuff that I expected that didn't happen and stuff like this. It was amazing. It was a great origin story. I applaud the people who worked on it so well. It was such a good movie. It was like so well done. It was like basically everything I could ask for. I loved it. So now we're off to music, and so there are 2 songs that I really listened to for these last 2 months, and I just decided to, you know, play them for you guys like I always do because they're good songs and I think that you should listen to them. So I'm going to give you a little snippet right now so you can like go add it on Spotify or whatever. So the first one is called $10 and it's by this band called Good Morning. It might be one person, I'm not sure, that happens sometimes. But yeah, and I think it's just really nice. It reminds me of The Goldfinch, which I also watched and I should have put on this list. But The Goldfinch was amazing. I finally watched it and I loved it, absolutely loved it. The book it's my favorite book of the year. And so the movie really did it justice and I think it was beautiful and I cannot wait to watch it again. So yes, I have made a playlist for it and everything, and this is one of the songs in it, and it just reminds me of it. It's just like one of those songs. It's super aesthetic to me. I just really like it. And I enjoy listening to it. So that's that. Next one is from my base playlist. Are We Surprised? Definitely Not. And it is called Moon River by Frank Sinatra. I absolutely... no, it's not by Frank Sinatra. Sorry. It's by Andy Williams. But I love this song. I think it's beautiful. And I have fallen asleep to this song. It's one of my most recent songs, like most listened to songs last month. It's like beautiful. It just has the perfect vibe. Vintage songs and me are like really tight. I love vintage songs, and it's just like has that air around it, perfect. Plus it reminds me of Bates, so obviously anything that reminds me of Bates is absolutely amazing.
There's such a lot of after the same waiting round my huckleberry friend.
I honestly just want to keep it playing right now. I love that song. It's absolutely beautiful. But yes, so those are 2 songs that really like kind of made my month. It was a great month. And now we're in December and Spotify wrapped up all my music and I cried in the middle of class because it was like a super religious experience. Music and me are like married. I love music more than like a lot of stuff, and music is connected to everything, like books, movies, TV shows. Music is just like my whole life. So it was a lot. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed that wrap up. I know it was long, sorry. I hope you had a great reading months, because this is 2 months in this wrap up. Anyway, even though like most of the stuff was only in November. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you had a great month too, and I hope you're having a great December so far. End of the year, guys. Are we excited or are we not? I love you all. I'll see you later with another video. Bye.